that is 9th of October 2024. I don't seem to have Councillor Andy Carmichael. I have Councillor Chalmers, Councillor Ross Clark, Councillor Devlin, Councillor Dewar, Councillor Donnelly, Councillor Faulkner as Chair, Councillor Handybod. I don't seem to have Councillor Horn. Councillor Hosey, no. Councillor Johnson Dempsey. Councillor Gavin Keats is online. Councillor McCreary in the room. Councillor MacDonald, Leslie. Don't seem to have Councillor McGeever. I have Councillor McLaughlin. Apologies from Councillor Nelson. And I have Councillor Razak, Councillor Ross, Councillor John Ross, Councillor Thompson and Councillor Toner. We also have a number of officers in attendance who will be introduced at the time they're speaking.
Okay, thanks for that, Lynn. Item 1, declaration of interest. Do we have any declaration of interest? No, no declaration of interest. Item 2, minutes of the previous meeting, pages 3 to 6. Somebody approve that? Agreed. Approved. Agreed. Seconded. Items for noting. Item 3, the Education Scotland report, Uddingston Grammar School. We have Rona James, Lead Officer in Education, and Head Teacher John Mackay to speak to that paper.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, councillors. My name is Rona James, and I'm a Lead Officer for School Performance and Improvement in our secondary schools. I'm here today in my role of Quality Link Officer for Uddingston Grammar School, and I'm pleased to be here with Head Teacher Mr John Mackay. The purpose of this report is to advise of the outcome of the inspection of Uddingston Grammar School by Education Scotland inspectors. Uddingston Grammar School is a 6-year comprehensive secondary school serving the communities of Uddingston, Bothwell, View Park, Tannockside and Cambuslang. It is also home to South Lanarkshire Council's Visual Impaired Service for Education. The catchment area crosses into North Lanarkshire Council and a significant number of young people are transported to the school. The head teacher has been in post for 15 years and he is supported by 6 deputy head teachers. Currently, the school roll is around 1,300 young people. This is expected to rise to about 1,450 young people over the coming years, and almost a third of the young people reside in North Lanarkshire and are zoned to attend the school. In February 2024, Uddingston Grammar School was the focus of a full model inspection by His Majesty's inspectors. And in the committee report takes us through the areas of the school's work that were evaluated using Scottish Education's National Quality Framework, How Good Is Our School 4th edition. Those areas were leadership of change, learning, teaching and assessment, ensuring well-being, equality and inclusion, and raising attainment and achievement. During their time in school, inspectors observed class lessons, spoke with groups of pupils and staff, and met with parents and members of the local community. The inspection report for Uddingston Grammar School was published on the 21st of May 2024. Inspectors evaluated the school's approaches to leadership of change, ensuring well-being, equality and inclusion, and raising attainment and achievement as good, and learning and teaching and assessment provision as satisfactory. It's important to highlight that an evaluation of satisfactory means that strengths still outweigh the weaknesses. It represents a standard where the strengths have a positive impact on learners' experiences. In the report, paragraph 4.2 highlights the key strengths of the school as noted. In summary, these are: Mr Mackay was mentioned in the report as a highly regarded leader who empowers staff to lead change which impacts on and supports young people to attain and achieve. The young people were described as respectful, confident and proud of their school. Inspectors could see the impact of strong, nurturing relationships with a calm, inclusive learning environment across the school. Young people who require additional support in their learning benefit from high-quality support from a range of skilled staff. Inspectors spent time with the Vision Support Team staff and commended their work. Young people with visual impairments become increasingly independent within the school, becoming more confident and articulate, developing skills for life learning and work needed for life beyond school. The inspectors also noted that senior leaders use additional funding effectively to support families with the cost of the school day, for example, by providing uniform, essential equipment and funding trips. Well-attended family learning events provide support with digital skills, literacy, numeracy, health and wellbeing and study skills. A nurturing breakfast club ensures young people feel motivated and ready to learn. The inspectors were positive about the vision support team provision. Young people feel safe, healthy, active, nurtured, achieving, respected, responsible, included. They also play an active part in ensuring that the wider school understands their needs and how they can be met. And overall, young people with visual impairments are making good progress in their learning. Paragraph 4.3 of the committee report references areas for improvement which have already been included in the school's improvement planning. Senior leaders should revisit their improvement plan and streamline key priorities for improvement to help ensure that they lead to outcomes for young people. Teachers should develop a wider range of approaches to high-quality teaching and assessment, including more effective planning for learning and moderation activities to help ensure young people make improved progress. As outlined in paragraph 4.6, inspectors are confident that Uddingston Grammar has the capacity to continue to improve and will therefore make no further visits in connection with the report. I'm now going to hand over to John, who will share a few of his highlights from the report.
Good afternoon, Chair and Councillors, and thank you, Rona. I'd like to start by stating that Frances Graham, the lead inspector and her team, were very professional and collegiate and carried out their duties tactfully, sensitively and efficiently, and I could not have asked for a more thorough and balanced approach to the process, so my thanks to the team from Education Scotland. I'd also like to put on record my thanks to the central team from Education Resources, who assisted us in our preparations and throughout the inspection, as well as assisting us post-inspection in analysing and interpreting the outcomes to update our school improvement plan. I'd also like to put on record our thanks to our wonderful Parent Council, our pupil empowerment team, my staff of teachers, janitors, cleaners, librarians, catering staff, school support assistants, office staff and technicians, and a special thanks to Maureen, Kenny and Cal for their constant support throughout the process. I would like to focus on two areas before I discuss the final report outcomes and our ongoing plans. In areas, if it's okay, I'd like to discuss our young people and their achievements and the strength of partnership learning. If I could talk about young people, I was delighted that the HMIE highlighted our young people as the main strength of the school. They're a wonderful set of young individuals, each unique, each ambitious, each with their own personal journey, who collectively form an amazing group whom it's my pleasure to lead. HMIE stated that they are respectful, they are confident and they are proud of their school. They uphold their refreshed values of compassion, ambition, respect, equity and success. And as head teacher, I see this every day. In the small things, as they chat with the day cleaner or catering staff, to the big things, being the largest school participating in the St Andrews Hospice Tinto Hill fundraiser or their outstanding SQA exam results this summer. HMIE recognised a number of key areas indicating young people were attaining and achieving beyond the traditional SQA qualifications. And one I'd like to single out is we are South Lanarkshire Council's largest cohort of Duke of Edinburgh presentations. Indeed, we had more young people presented for Duke of Edinburgh than the rest of South Lanarkshire added together. And whilst young people do not receive any SQA credit for this award, the life skills learned and the experiences gained are considerably more valuable in the longer term. HMI recognise young people's commitment to helping us to continuously improve. Young people have been instrumental in helping us create our learning and teaching framework, particularly through developing our What Makes a Good Lesson programme, which they did through their focus group activities and through their pupil empowerment team, which again HMI recognised as an area of strength for young people, giving young people, through our commitment to the UNCRC, a real voice and a real say in our ongoing direction. HMI recognised that as a school, we have been committed to widening participation and in particular accreditation through innovative programmes such as Uddingston Glamour, our own purpose-built salon, which provides SQA qualifications in hairdressing, beauty, and more recently barbering. Not that I'm a beneficiary of any of that. Our on-site cafe, providing barista and customer service awards, and more recently, our car valeting programme, providing personal development awards. All SQA accredited, and HMI remarked that these opportunities help young people build their confidence and develop skills for life and work. HMI highlighted the ongoing successes of young people in the senior phase, where as a school we performed very well against our South Lanarkshire cohort and are performing as well on Insight as the virtual comparator, who we are nationally aggregated and compared with. Indeed, that reflected the results from August 2023, and this year we have seen an increase again, with outstanding results achieved across the piece, leading to excellent outcomes and more young people than ever moving on to positive leaver destinations, whether that be university, college or employment. Last year we changed our senior phase curriculum offer for young people based on outcomes, and now all young people in S6 undertake 5 qualifications, of which higher leadership is one of them. This has been instrumental in ensuring attainment has continued to rise and that young people contribute to the aims of the school. And HMIE recognise this through our increased certification of leadership and volunteering awards. HMIE also recognise that we have a pattern established over a significant number of years whereby we are closing the poverty-related attainment gap in the senior phase, which is directly leading to better outcomes for young people. So what do young people say about their school? HMIE questionnaires highlighted what our own annual school survey has done for a number of years. Overwhelmingly, young people feel safe in school. They know who to speak with if they have any concerns. They feel treated fairly and with respect. They feel we are helping them develop empathy and respect for others, that we are helping them become more confident and healthy, that we celebrate their achievements, and that we listen to and value their feedback, and that we give them good advice at transitions, and that they're given opportunities to influence what and how they learn, and that they're happy in school. Young people gave fantastic feedback to HMIE, and it's very humbling to read what they think, as irrespective of anything else, they are the single most important part of the school, and it's clear they are really huge advocates for it. And if I can talk about the strength of partnership learning, HMIE were also very positive about the value we place in partnership working in the school, in particular with Skills Development Scotland, colleges and vocational employers. Indeed, HMIE lead for DYW will revisit us as part of a write-up of good practice to share what we do. They recognised how we utilise labour market intelligence to build on our curricular offer. An example being our salon. Hairdressing, as you know, is a very large employer in Uddingston. To our innovative use of AI, we are at the forefront of curricular development in this area, and Education Scotland have linked with us again as a model of good practice. They highlighted the huge range of partnerships we have created and how these have had positive impacts on young people. And in particular, I'd like to highlight how partnerships have been instrumental in improving the life chances of people in 2 areas: our vision-supported young people and our care-experienced young people. 2 areas HMIE highlighted as models of good practice. And indeed, our work with our vision support young people has been published as an example of national good practice. HMIE said that an important strength of the school's work is a well-planned and effective support for care-experienced young people. These young people are supported very well by specialist staff. It's important to contextualise this. As you all know, just under 50% of our young people within Uddingston Grammar come from North Lanarkshire Council. And at the time of our HMIE, all of our care-experienced young people came from out with South Lanarkshire Council. This meant we have to be creative and innovative, which we have been. And we've created unique and bespoke partnerships to ensure that these young people are supported at every stage. In our Vision Support team, and we are the Lanarkshire Secondary Vision Support Service, and that's pan-Lanarkshire, that's across the whole of Lanarkshire, our young people are supported in our base by fully qualified Braille staff, and each young person fully participates in the mainstream curriculum. And to ensure that this is successful, partnerships with health, social work, ASN Transport, Senior Manager Pupil Support, VIAT, SQA, and our partner primary, now Top and Motherwell, are key, and HMIE recognised the ongoing successes of our provision. And so to the outcomes. We were very pleased with the process, and the outcomes reflected those areas within our improvement plan on which we had a focus and continue to do so. In particular, learning, teaching and assessment. This has been a key area post-COVID in which we wish to see improved practice. Indeed, I mentioned young people being engaged in a learning, teaching and assessment framework. And whilst I'm going to be honest, I was a bit disappointed in the overall award statement. It was and is our main school improvement priority. And as such, HMIE have confirmed for us that this was and still is the right main priority. In terms of the other award statements, these are reflective of where we ourselves believed we were as part of our own self-evaluation. And this confirmation gives us the impetus and focus required to continue to make the necessary changes for improvement. I'm very fortunate as head teacher of the grammar. Our staff are excellent and determined to improve the outcomes. And indeed, I know that learning, teaching and assessment is and continues to improve. As I mentioned earlier, in August of this year, we received outstanding SQA results. Our parents and carers are invested in the school. They demand the very best for their wee ones, as they should. And indeed they, along with our wonderful parent council, have had and continue to have a huge influence in how we perform and the opportunities we provide as a school. Indeed, overwhelmingly, in HMIE survey and our own, Parents and carers are happy with the school and the opportunities we provide. We still have work to do in learning, teaching and assessment, in continuing to close the poverty-related attainment gap, in reaching those young people from school as an issue, in reaching those parents and carers who don't normally engage with us, and by continuously reflecting on where we are and where we are heading. As I said, I'm very fortunate. We have the conditions for growth as outlined by HMIE in the strengths of the school, and the areas HMI have asked us to consider. We're already part of our school improvement plan, meaning we're all on the same track. They've asked us to consider 3 areas: the school improvement plan, learning, teaching, assessment, and entitlements in the BGE, which is lower school. Education Resources, Rona and the central team have already grasped the metal and are taking the lead on the updated and revised format for school improvement planning and standards and quality reporting. Our own major focus in school is learning, teaching and assessment, and the recent SQA results have shown we're making significant progress in this area. And our broad general education tracking and monitoring system, which was praised by HMIE, will also look at how young people are meeting and receiving their entitlements to the full BGE curriculum. To conclude, this is a whistle-stop outline of our HMIE report. There are many more areas we could have highlighted, and HMIE have highlighted for us those areas in which they would like to see us concentrate, and they recognise that those were the same areas we had identified. We found the process invaluable. It confirmed for us that our own quality assurance programmes are robust and that our priorities are the right ones to continue to improve outcomes for young people. Thank you very much for the opportunity to come and speak to you today about our HMIE feedback report.
Thanks very much for that, Rona and John. I'll now open it to questions. May I remind the councillors in the room, due to technical issues, you need to raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Councillor Devlin.
Thanks, Chair.
Old age.
I'll just shout. But thanks. It's not really asking a question. It's just to say thank you. I've been fortunate enough, and it has been a privilege for me to be an elected member within the area ever since John started down the grammar school. So I've witnessed through the years the commitment that John has to the kids, both of the South Lanarkshire and beyond. But the way he constantly pushes himself and his staff team to have a great outcome for the pupils that attend Uddingston Grammar. I could go on for ages and ages, but I won't. But thanks very much for the job that you do, John. And can you pass that on to all your staff? That's including a lot of the staff and the pupils for being good students. Thanks.
Thanks very much for that, Councillor. Kenny.
Thanks, Chair. I'm lucky enough to be invited and attend on a fairly regular basis the Parent Council meetings. The last time I was there, I ended up on an artificial intelligence course, which was completely bizarre, and but I'll never forget that. I don't think I understood any of it, but nevertheless, that was unusual. But I think the highlight of the school year for me is a prize-giving ceremony, where John's speeches are legendary. Sometimes more for their length than the content, I would say. But nevertheless, for people that when you get to my age, you kind of have the view that sometimes all kids spend their time looking at their phones and not doing much else. And it's only when you go along to these prize-giving ceremonies you realise how they excel in all sorts of fields, like more than academia, sports, drama, the arts, and all sorts of things. So it's always quite refreshing to go to attend these and see what your people do. I think I've got particular affinity for Uddingston Grammar because both my kids attended and went on to university education, so they done pretty well out of it, albeit the old school. And I think also before your time, John, so I can't give you too much credit for that. But what I would say is keep up the good work, and as Maureen says, please pass on my thanks to you and your staff. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much for that, Kenny. Councillor Johnson Dempsey.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Rona. Thank you, John, for your report. I grew up just over the council border and went to Cardinal Newman, but even at that time, I graduated in 2010, Uddingston was known as a good school. I think that might have been just the first 1 or 2 years of yours there, John. Yeah. as I say, I want to thank you, but also want to thank you in particular, John, for bringing up the students that are from North Lanarkshire that go to Uddingston. I know you've spoke previously about the creativity you've had to show sometimes in getting them support when certain services are limited only to the students that are domiciled in South Lanarkshire. So I was really glad to hear you say that. In general, just thank you very much for the excellent work you're doing and that you've still got a great, nourishing learning environment. Thank you.
Thanks for that. Deputy Provost Thompson.
Thanks very much, your Chair. Very nice here, by the way. Well, actually, I've got to reflect on that a wee bit. Thanks, John there and Rona, for that report. I actually met John the way in, and he says to me, "But I've lost my short speech, this one will be an hour today." Sorry, John. Listen, I was glad that you mentioned there the whole school, Encompass whole school, the janitorial staff, parent council, of course, the pupils, teaching staff at Kethlen. It's good to see you acknowledged everybody there. And it's no my ward, but it sounds a great school. As I've got to say about the citizenship thing, I meet people, and the thing that they're all impressed with in South Lanarkshire is the schools and the education and how lucky we are to have such a great education and teaching staff in our area. So I'd like to thank personally for that. That'll cut it at that, Chair, and let you go on with it. Thank you. Thanks again.
Okay, thanks for that. Any other questions? I've no other questions. I'd like to thank Rona and John again for the reports. If you wish to stay on for the other item, you're more than welcome, but if you have other things to do, you can leave if you wish. Okay, thank you. We're on to item 4. Education Scotland report, St John the Baptist Primary. We've got Leigh Miller and Catherine Clyde. Sorry. Ladies.
Thank you, Chair, and good afternoon, councillors. My name's Leigh Miller and I'm the Quality Link Officer for St John the Baptist Primary School, and I'm pleased to be here today with Head Teacher Mrs Catherine Curry. The purpose of this report is to advise the outcome of the inspection of St John the Baptist Primary School by Education Scotland inspectors. St John the Baptist Primary serves the area of Uddingston, and at the time of inspection there were 329 children in 12 classes, and the head teacher only took up post in November 2023. She's supported by our senior leadership team of 2 deputy head teachers and acting principal teacher at the time of inspection. In early January 2024, St John the Baptist Primary School was the focus of a full model inspection by His Majesty's Inspectorate, and paragraph 4.1 of the committee report takes us through the areas of the school's work that were evaluated using the Scottish Education's National Quality Framework, How Good is Our School, 4th edition. Those were leadership of change, learning, teaching and assessment, ensuring wellbeing, equality and inclusion, and raising attainment and achievement. During their 5 days in the school, inspectors observed lessons, spoke with groups of pupils and staff, met with parents and members of the local community. The inspection report for St John the Baptist Primary School was published on the 28th of May 2024. As referenced in paragraph 4.4 of the report, inspectors evaluated the school's leadership of change as good, learning, teaching, assessment provision as good, ensuring wellbeing, equality and inclusion as very good, and their outcome on raising attainment and achievement as good. Paragraph 4.2 highlights the key strengths of the school as noted in the report. In summary, these are a powerful sense of community based on gospel values. This contributes positively to the warm and nurturing relationships across the school, and as a result, children learn in a happy and inclusive community of faith and learning. Children who are welcoming, friendly and polite. They are proud of their school, keen to learn and engage well with their learning activities. School staff who work effectively with a wide range of local authority and third sector partners to support children's learning and wellbeing needs well. Senior leaders and staff's robust approaches to tracking and monitoring health and wellbeing. This results in staff supporting all of the children's wellbeing very effectively. Paragraph 4.3 references some area for improvement which has already been included in the school's improvement planning. These include to strengthen further approaches to evaluating the work of the school to ensure continued improvement, and in doing so increase the involvement of children, parents, partners in evaluating the work of the school. To increase the pace and challenge in children's learning activities to enable them to make best possible progress, and to develop further approaches to check children's progress in learning and achievement across the curriculum. As outlined in paragraph 4.4, inspectors are confident that St John the Baptist has the capacity to continue to improve, and they will therefore make no further visits in connection with this report. I'm now going to hand over to Kath, who will share a few of our highlights from our inspection report. Thank you, Kath.
Thank you, Lee. Good afternoon, Chair and Councillors. My name is Catherine Curry, and I'm the head teacher of St John the Baptist Primary School and Nursery in Uddingston. I was very pleased and proud to receive such a positive report from Her Majesty's inspectors when they visited the school in the week beginning the 15th of January 2024. I joined St John the Baptist Primary and Nursery on the 6th of November 2023, having previously been head teacher of Our Lady in St Anne's in Hamilton. The previous head teacher of St John the Baptist, Marie Beacom, retired in September 2023, after leading the school for 13 years. I knew before I joined the school that the St John the Baptist was overdue an inspection. However, I didn't expect to receive notice of it quite so quickly, just 4 weeks after starting. Notice of an inspection in the run-up to Christmas with a newly appointed head teacher had its challenges for everyone. However, I was absolutely delighted with how the staff, children and families rallied together to support each other, and of how the school and I were supported by our colleagues within Education Resources. As the nursery had recently had a visit from the Care Inspectorate, we had the option to decide whether to include them within the inspection process. Given that the Care Inspectorate had been a positive experience, I decided not to include them, and the inspection focused solely on the school. During her time as head teacher, Marie and the staff worked to create a warm and welcoming school, where the children and families feel included, valued and respected. This was recognised by the inspection team, who could see that the children's wellbeing was at the heart of the work of the school, and that staff placed great emphasis on building and sustaining positive, respectful relationships between all members of our school community. St John the Baptist has a clear vision that children shine. That is, that they are safe, healthy, included, nurtured and excellent. This vision is a lived reality within the school, and inspectors recognise that it contributes to our warm and welcoming, nurturing ethos. The inspectors noted that we had a powerful sense of community based on gospel values, which contributes to our warm and nurturing relationships across the school. As a result, our children learn in a happy and inclusive community of faith and learning. Our children feel safe and have positive relationships with each other and with adults. Our children were rightly one of our biggest strengths. They were noted as being welcoming, friendly and polite. They are proud of their school, keen to learn and engage well with their learning activities. Inspectors also recognised that the staff work very effectively with a range of local authority and third sector partners to support well-being, mental health and physical disability, which in turn ensures that the children are more able to engage with their learning. Senior leaders and staff's robust approaches to tracking and monitoring health and wellbeing also works very well, resulting in staff supporting all children's wellbeing very effectively. Following the rigorous self and school evaluation opportunities that an inspection provides, I believe that with the support of the staff, pupils and parents, we are well placed to take St John the Baptist forward into its next chapter. We were pleased that the inspection team recognised that our children have opportunities to be members of school committees, and that we are always looking for innovative ways to engage with our school community. We will continue to strengthen further our approaches to evaluating the work of the school and increase involvement of children, parents and partners. Work undertaken in our committees and our groups, such as our rights group, our cost of the school day group, is being used to inform our policies and practices as we move forwards. Our children are confident individuals, many of whom participate in leadership opportunities and extracurricular activities, which they undertake with enthusiasm. The inspection team recognised that we encourage participation in a wide range of skills-related clubs, which take place at a range of times, before, during and after school, to help ensure equitable access. We're also continuing to develop our tracking to identify any gaps in pupils' experiences, particularly those impacted by poverty, to ensure equity for our young people. Our participation in improving our schools was identified as a positive initiative which supported teaching and learning across the school. Staff embrace this with enthusiasm. They participate in peer visits, they can share good practice, they learn from and they support each other. This session we've also undertaken training in maths recovery and explicitly teaching writing, which are engaged, and our staff are engaged in quality professional learning as we create a whole school consistent approach to high quality teaching and learning. The inspection process was a very positive experience for us, and having Education Scotland agree with our self-evaluation was very reassuring. Our inspection team was very approachable and supportive. Their positive and constructive feedback is helping us carve out clear pathways to ensure that we are continuing to provide the best possible education experiences and outcomes for our children, because they deserve absolutely nothing less. Thank you for listening.
Thanks very much for that, Lee, and also Catherine. Before I open to any questions, I'd just like you know that Councillor Carmichael and Councillor Horn have now joined the meeting. So I'll open it to any questions. Councillor Devlin.
Thanks, Chair. I suppose really I should declare an interest at the start of this because it's actually the primary school I used to go to. And I just said to Leslie here the number of years that I left, she said, don't mention it. But I have to say again, I'm very privileged to represent the area that I represent, but the schools and the commitment from the teaching staff at these schools with the pupils and everything, including Lee, because she was also the head teacher at New Edge Primary School. So there's really quite a strong connection here. I definitely can't praise you enough and can't thank you enough. And I will have to mention Marie, and I'm glad you mentioned Marie for the years that she was there as well, but all the schools have got a great atmosphere when you walk in. Very proactive, both with the pupils, but also with the community round about. And I think that's really important, that schools do engage with the community round about. So thanks for everything that you do. Thanks, Chair.
Thanks, Chair. Once again, I'm fortunate enough to be invited along, usually to the Parent Council meetings, which is always a very rewarding experience. The only thing, I haven't had any AI training yet on any of you, but maybe that's something you can talk to John about and arrange for me if you don't mind. I do need the help. You mentioned it's quite a positive experience in engaging with the inspection staff, but I'm sure it's also extremely challenging. And my work experience, it's like an audit. The auditor turns up, and you really can do without it. I think taking up a couple of weeks of your time or however long it takes. So. But you seem to have got through it very well, so thanks again, once again. As Maureen says, it's great to have such good schools in the community. So thanks.
Thanks for that, Kenny. Councillor Johnson Dempsey.
Thanks, Chair. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Mrs. Curry. Obviously, it must have been quite a shock 4 weeks in getting told you're having that inspection. But I just want to congratulate you both, obviously congratulate the former head teacher as well, and particularly highlight the very good that you received in terms of the wellbeing section. So congratulations.
Thanks very much, Chair. If you just indulge me, those who don't know, I was at Schoolwell in Ermick High School, and I remember the teacher saying to Monday, Alan, when are you leaving school? He says, right after registration. Sorry, Alan. Thanks for that report. Very encouraging report, and I liked your vision about the positive things there. That was really good, including religion and education, and your acknowledgement of poverty and the effect it can have. So that was very encouraging. Thanks again. Well done, the school.
Thanks for that, Bert. Any other questions? Any other questions? Oh, sorry.
Me? Thank you very much. It was a wonderful report for both schools, I may add. I didn't come in the first one, John. Can I just say that you had a hard act to follow with Marie Beacom, because I know Marie from old. Marie used to be the head teacher at Netherburn Primary School way back when, and I know we're sorry to lose her, but seriously, you've taken up and running with it, and you're doing an absolutely tremendous job. And so thank you. And if the next time you see her, will you tell her Leslie McDonald was asking after her? as Alan Faulkner doesn't know my name. And by the way, I'm not telling you how many years ago it was that Maureen attended the school, but I know it's worth money for me. But seriously, thank you very much. They've both been wonderful reports, and we've got a lot to be proud of our children, our young people for. So well done to both of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I think it is quite commendable of you. We get quite a lot of school reports coming to this area committee, as you well know, but not an awful lot of them are in the quality indicators saying very good. So I think you should take, you know, that back to your school to say thank you, a big thank you for the hard work that's obviously been put in there by the teachers and by the pupils. Well done to them. And well done to yourself, being 4 weeks in. You raised yourself up to the plate big time, and you surpassed what was expected of you for this report. So thank you.
you.